It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 9th day of May 2020. Welcome one and welcome all. Saturday morning on Mother's Day weekend. And by the way, to all of you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day for tomorrow. This morning, we're going to look at probably the most critical question in the cruise industry today, and that is, can you keep the cruise ships safe? That's going to be the main topic this morning. We're going to look at and investigate Project Hygiea, which is an initiative designed to keep airborne illnesses off ships as much as possible, battle them when necessary, and prepare for the worst case scenarios should they arrive. So that's going to be the main topic this morning, but we got several things to go over before we get to that. One, cleaning up some personal business here. One, if you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. I have not spent a whole lot of time recently talking about our new folks. We have had some new folks. We've had some new folks that have been in the audience here recently too. So we do like to welcome you there. If you have not subscribed to this channel and you're new, we'd appreciate it. The little subscribe button's down there in the lower right-hand corner. We regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry and stories on the travel and cruise industry. Then we have our Travel and Cruise Industry News, which is on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. And my interview show, which are called Chillie Chats. Those all come on this channel. Just hit that little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, bell notification to let you know when I go live or when a new video is posted. So take care of that. So I got that out of the way this morning. The other thing, and we've got our subscription rates kind of leveled off. We're at 1,970 somewhere along in there. But it's kind of leveled off here the last little bit. I'm not surprised, as I have been ranting a lot recently. It probably scared some people away. So I'm not going to try to rant too much today. There are a couple things to clean up, though, that we talked about the other day. One was my tongue. Those of you that don't know, I had a tooth extraction on Monday. I have a little spur of some kind protruding from the gum underneath where the tooth was, which the dentist says that he can't do that. He's got to send me to a oral surgeon to take care of that. In the meantime, this little thing had shredded my tongue. And when I was on the air the other day, my tongue was swollen up. I was slurring over my words. Well, I got a tube about this long for the prescription. I mean, it's maybe an inch and a half long, $50 worth. That I'm supposed to apply on when needed to the tongue. Well, actually, I put it on back further where the little spiky thing is, and that's keeps it from keeping the tongue all raw and stuff. So it took care of the pain. Put it on first time 2 hours, and now it's pretty much back to normal. So that problem's out of the way. The other thing I ranted about the other day was Norwegian Cruise Line and vacations to go, and they're still, I got an email yesterday, they're doing nothing about my cancellation. So because I missed the window of they had I don't know how many days it was, 7-day window for that week of the cancellation of May 11th, the week of May 11th. That was the only time you could request a refund. Other than that, all they're going to give you is the credits. Well, at the time that dates that I could request a refund, I wasn't going to take a refund. I was going to just take the credits. My circumstances changed a little bit and I needed to request a refund. So now neither Vacations to Go, who was my agent, nor Norwegian will do anything about it. I've been up and down the chain of command to supervisors and everything else. And I got the word yesterday that, sorry, they're not going to reopen that window that they had open for for refunds. So, I don't know that this is the end of it, but it certainly appears that way. So I'm still at war with Norwegian and Vacations to Go, simply because they told me no, and I don't like anybody telling me no. Quite frankly, is about 90% of it. Now, on to some more pleasant thoughts. We've talked a time or two, and I don't think I did this the other. I had intended to put this up the other day, and I don't think I did. I got the critter underneath the house. We're pretty sure it's a groundhog, and we've got groundhog, Gravelly Hill Greg, and Juanita. Juanita is the underneath the house, and she did come out and made her appearance with 4 babies earlier in the week before it got cold again. So there's now Juanita and 4 babies are underneath the house. And Gravelly Hill Greg has said, "The hell with this," and he left. I don't know. He's down in the pecan trees or someplace. So that happened. So we got a whole slew of groundhogs underneath the house. Somebody said that I could, I don't know, put pepper dust or something to get rid of them. We'll see. Now, the other thing that's of vital importance, the women in this household, though, which is my sister and my niece, I decided this week that it's time for me to get back on the horse that I fell off of. And we needed a kitten. So, I said when Brat the cat passed away that I get too emotionally involved with cats or any other kind of animals. And I wasn't going to have at my age another pet to take care of. Well, so everybody, this is Charmin and Cottonelle. They're 8 weeks old. So, I mean, they were born at the same time that everybody was scarfing up all the toilet paper, which is why they were named Charmin and Cottonelle. And it looks like if all goes well, we're going to rescue the 2 kittens on Tuesday and bring them home sometime on Tuesday. So by Thursday, I'm sure the cats will have taken full run of my desk and will probably make appearances on the show next Thursday. So it looks like we're going to have 2 kittens instead of just the one that I had before. So that's out of the way. So anyway, we'll have cats again. And besides that, I need somebody to take care of Brat the Cat's website, because since Brat the Cat passed away, I haven't touched it. So I need the kittens now to run Brat the Cat's website. So we'll get that going again too. So I guess. And the other thing that folks, in case you just make a statement on this once and for all. I understand that alcohol and sunlight can kill COVID-19. So if you go to drive by the farm here and you see me naked and drunk, you'll know that I'm doing medical research. So that's it. All right. Before we get to the story for this morning and back on to serious things, and I get check in, I've got a whole bunch of people making comments already. We'll stop for a word and then we'll get down to the business at hand. Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise. Okay. Always get in a good mood with that music. Anyway, so let's see here what we got. Gretchen's here. Tom's here. Good morning to both of y'all. I'm not ranting as bad as Bruce. Well, that's good to know. I always thought I ranted worse than Bruce does. You know, I haven't been over to Bruce for a while. I haven't paid any attention to him recently. Don was really bad with his NCL bankrupt video, which came out even after the financing news was out. Yeah, I mean, NCL, apparently they've gotten, sorry, folks, I'm touching my face. Yeah, by the way, I keep my mask at hand. You know, if I go out, folks, I do wear my mask. And you need to do this, folks, no matter what your feelings are about COVID-19. I don't care what your feelings are about politically, of whether the state should be opened or closed or whatever. Wear a mask. You know, not only does it protect you somewhat, but the main thing is it protects you from other people. So you're protecting other people by wearing the mask. So do that for a while. We got to do that for a long time, probably. Tom Henry says no vacations to go. We'll continue direct booking with PCC. You know what? I've gone both ways, Tom, and yeah, I'm probably, they've aggravated me on this one, and I'm not a good person to get aggravated at. So John's with us. Hey, good morning, John. John's up from Minnesota, up north. By the way, I don't know what his weather, John, I don't know what your weather's like this weekend. It was 35 here this morning, and that was a little better than they thought. They actually had a freeze warning out here, and I'm sure up in the mountains they had a freeze warning. Might have had a little snow last night, and another one tonight. So we could get some snow tonight too. So which May and snow and freezing in Virginia, that sucks. Excuse my French. Gretchen says how cute. That's over to Kittens, I'm sure. So anyway, everybody's here. You're a week late being naked, Tom said. That was naked gardening day. Yeah, that was last Saturday, Tom. But see that now, see if I'm naked and drunk, it's because I'm doing research on the COVID-19. I'm doing medical research. Celeste Brewer, hello from Atlanta. Hello, Celeste. Glad to have you with us. And by the way, since John's with us, what did he say? 4 inches of snow? No, can't be. We're expecting 3 to 4 inches of snow, but it'll go away in a day. Ooh, ooh. I hope we don't get that. And by the way, since John's here, tomorrow afternoon, that's Sunday afternoon, at 3 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, John and I will co-host with Pete on the Cruises for Solos show from London. And our guest tomorrow is going to be Emma Latisse of Cruising Isn't Just for Old Folks. I've interviewed Emma a couple times. I love her to death. So keep that in mind tomorrow, Sunday at 3 o'clock. We're going to have some fun with Emma again. So I just love Emma to death. So anyway, that's tomorrow. Okay, now we do need to get onto the business at hand, folks. And that's talking about the keeping cruise ships safe. One of the main questions that that they have to answer before any of us are going to feel safe getting on cruise ships is, are you going to keep them safe now? Are you going to keep us healthy while we're on a cruise ship? And Project Hygiea, it's an initiative that was designed to keep airborne illnesses off of ships as much as possible, battle them when necessary, and prepare you for the worst case scenarios if they might arrive. It was crafted by a company called Foreship, which is a naval architecture and marine engineering firm. And they're trying to nip the problems early. The CEO of the firm, Matthias Jorgensen, says there's no silver bullet solution for fighting viruses, but the effort is to get it covered before it happens. And basically, they prevent illnesses from coming on board, which is the first stage. And that could be a number of different things. And some of them we've talked before on this channel, from the medical checks. There's new technology out of scanners that are very similar to the body scanners that we go through at airports that are health related. That's a possibility. I guarantee you they're going to be taking your temperature, and probably do that a lot. And there's the possibility of testing you before you get on the ship. So that's amazing. Then they're going to stage 2 of these folks have said to keep the cruise ships safe is efforts are being made to prevent a virus from coming on board. Then steps must be taken across the ship to prevent the spread of any that might have gotten there, no matter what you do. In other words, a lot of people that have with COVID-19 have spread the virus itself, never knew that they had it. They never got sick. They never felt sick, and they were still spreading it. So that means that they're employing even stricter hygiene measures than already in place aboard all modern ships. It will also mean figuring out ways to optimize public spaces so that people will be able to social distance. So the whole social distance things, folks, is going to be around for a while, and maybe forever, to avoid this again. So that's keeping space, not shaking hands, not touching your face. Who knows about the masks, how long that's going to be. And one thing that they have learned is isolate any potentially ill passengers, and to do that quickly before they come in contact with other people on the ship. And it always, like I said earlier, plan for the best, prepare for the worst. So, and this information, by the way, has come from this company, but it's being done in conjunction with CLIA, the Cruise Lines International Association, and various health organizations literally around the world, of course, including the CDC. So, interesting look at keeping cruise ships safe and healthy as efforts are being made to start the industry again. Now, as I have said in the past, I do not think we're anywhere near that yet. Even though Carnival still hopes to start August the 1st on 8 ships. Princess and Holland America have basically wiped out the remainder of the year. Royal Caribbean has not said, although they have said that they could see delaying their start longer than they have stated. Norwegian says they hope to sail this year. Of course, they've raised a lot of money to get them out of their financial troubles. They say now they can go 18 months. I don't think it's going to be 18 months before we cruise, but I'll be surprised if we cruise again this year. There's another thing came out today. Great Britain is considering a 14-day quarantine on anybody traveling into Great Britain. Canada has that right now. Even though the United States has not stated that specifically, that's part of the whole CDC thing on getting people off cruise ships is a 14-day quarantine. So that's in the thinking process somewhere. But now if a number of these places go to the policy for now of a 14-day waiting period from if you're traveling from another country, that's going to totally stop the travel industry, the tourism industry, because, people are not going to be able to travel comfortably from place to place. If they know they cross a border, they got to be quarantined for 14 days. So, and with cruise ships, we already had the issue of ports of call. So now if more and more people start saying just generally you got to have a 14-day quarantine, that's going to just kill cruise ships totally. I don't think that's something that's going to be permanent, but boy, I could sure see it until we're over this thing and have a vaccine and that's available on a worldwide basis. And this thing is the thing in the past. I still think we're not even close to being done with this. Most of the state, New York, just look at New York, how bad New York was, but look at their numbers now, because they've been very careful about what they're doing to control this thing. And their numbers now are down. Most of the states in the United States, the numbers are still going up. And most of those states are opening their states up again, opening business up, letting loose some of the quarantine and shelter in place rules and regulations, with numbers still going up. So that's got to just exacerbate the spread again and make it that much worse. So I just don't think we're done with this, folks. I really don't. I'm afraid we're not. And I'm afraid that that's going to, our industry that we care so much about, the travel industry, the cruise industry specifically, is going to be the last, I think, to come back. I think everything else has got to happen right before we can travel again. It's my personal feelings on this. So, I hope I'm wrong. I hope you guys can tell me I'm wrong sooner rather than later, but I just don't see it happening. And I will continue on that soapbox, folks, until I start getting some kind of signs that it's going to change, and I don't see that yet. So, one other thing to point out on the website this week, in addition to all the date changes and stuff I've been doing, I do have a new cruise up, the Sky Princess Barbados cruise, which is out of Fort Lauderdale. It's a Eastern and Southern Caribbean cruise with stops in St. Kitts, Barbados, St. Lucia, Antigua, St. Thomas, and Grand Turk. It's a 10-day cruise from Fort Lauderdale. It's got a number of dates from starts in November through the spring. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description of this video. You can go check it out on the website. So that's a new one that I finally got up. I actually got it live yesterday. So, all right, let's see. We got a bunch more comments. So let's go back over here to the comment page. Tom says that Chillie's ready for Groundhog Day. Boy, am I ever ready for Groundhog Day. Goodness gracious. Yeah. I got plenty, Tom, and it's, I'm not allowed to do anything about them. So just put up with them. Anyway, so groundhogs live on the farm. That's okay. So let's see who else is here. Celeste, John is here. I'm scrolling down here trying to get caught up. All right. Tom Henry says, Emma had a wonderful video on the NCL cash issue, put the SEC filing requirement in the forefront. we love Emma to death. Emma is really sharp. She's one of the best influencers, I think, in the cruise industry. And our friend Bonnie is one of the administrators of Emma's site. So we're kind of in the family there. Emily's with us from New York. Good morning, Emily. Glad to see you again. Tom Henry says the disinfectant protocol on my February 29th cruise was impressive. Started right around the second week or about March 7th. Okay, that was on his cruise he was on before all this really hit. Emily says, I think masks will be around for a long time. You know, I think you're right, Emily. I really do think that a lot of these things, folks, you might not like them, but if they can help to keep us safe and as things get back to normal, we're going to have to do it. And masks is one of the things. So, all right, let's see what else we got it going here. Tom Henry says, my friend Kirk from New York is in the hospital with COVID. We met him for dinner last November before our gym cruise. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Of course, I'm sorry with hearing anybody that gets this stuff. It's just awful. Seems to think he'll go home in a week. So recovery sounds good. Well, that's good news. Anyway, so busy weekend ahead, folks. We've got the show from London tomorrow with Pete, John, and I, and Emma. We're going to talk to Emma tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And then I think Pete is going to set it up so that should you have a question for Emma, he's going to, after we talk to her for a while, he's going to bring some folks live on the show to ask Emma questions. So if you have any questions for Emma, make sure you're in attendance. So we'll be taking care of that tomorrow. So that's about it for today, folks. Glad you're with me. Hope you enjoyed my little silliness to start the day off and a serious topic a little bit today to give you something to think about. Hopefully someday we'll all be able to cruise again and put this behind us. It would be great if it's sooner rather than later, but we'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Mother's Day for all you mothers out there. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday, unless something major happens. And of course, I'll go live as quickly as possible or get a video up or something if something major happens between now and then. If not, have a great weekend. Stay safe, folks. Stay healthy. And we'll talk to you real soon. This is Chillie, the Fat Travel Guy. Later, y'all.
Thank you for watching today's travel and cruise industry news. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.